Hey, what's up, my friends? I know there's a lot of videos out there teaching you how to make all this big money flipping houses, and we love making big money flipping houses. But I will tell you how we pay the bills and how I've stayed in this business for almost 2 decades is learning how to take what the market gives you on these thin margin deals with multiple exit strategies. So there's big money to be made flipping houses. I'm not denying that. But a majority of the deals, there's not. So I encourage you to watch this video and see some of the takeaways that I've given. This is a live case study training that I do, and you're going to get some really valuable takeaways that you can use for your investing business. So enjoy it, stick around, give me a like, subscribes if you like it, put your comments in the chat, and I'll be sure to hit you back.
This is like a very, just say average deal, mediocre deal that I'll show you the numbers in a second. Here's before and after. Pretty cookie cutter home. This one is a little bit more ideal for a rental. Okay, for me, because it's like because it's what I said it was. It's 1,500 square feet, 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, not even 2.5. I didn't think this home was going to sell very quickly at all because it only had 2 bathrooms. And the reason that's so strange is because the only bathroom downstairs was a little bit awkward. Actually, a lot awkward to only have 1 bathroom downstairs in the master bedroom, right? You guys with me? And you don't really want to be a weird house.
So not a half bath down there?
Oh,
Okay.
not a half bath.
Wow.
Not a half bath. And so when Elijah did the bid, I was like, I looked at the bid and I'm just like you guys too, because I pay a markup and all that. And I'm like, sticker shock. I'm like, what the heck, man? And he's like, well, I'm putting in a half bath. And I'm like, I don't think I want to put in a half bath. And he's like, you don't want to? I'm like, I do want to, but I just don't want to pay for it. I'm like, I don't want to pay for it. And he's like, you think the home's going to sell? I'm like, I don't know. And honestly, like I had to go back and look at it, and I went back and forth. So I'll show you some of my numbers and what we did with this one. We were able, this is a rare thing, but we were able to keep the flooring. I'm not going to say this seller was a hoarder, but it was a little bit of a distraught. He was a little unique kind of guy, but we were able to keep the flooring. I didn't love the color. I didn't know how well it was going to clean up. I was a little concerned, but all of the laminate flooring was able to be kept. I think it was laminate. We went with the white. I like this paint scheme because it's easy and it's cheap in terms of, they can just spray everything real quick, just all white, blow out the ceilings, the walls, everything kind of one color. And it doesn't really show like if you're cutting in corners and stuff like that. It's just so easy, so quick. And then with the gray trim, it's kind of like a nice modern look. This is the master bathroom. These are granite. These are granite. I'm going to show y'all something that we've been playing around with, and it's been going pretty good. Going pretty good. I'll show you in a second. That's a dining room. It had a door there. It was awkward. So we got rid of the door. So this is one thing we did, and I was hesitant to do it because there's not much cabinet space there, but we opened up the window from, you can see into the living room. I was hesitant to do it, like I said, because the kitchen was so small. And like, man, what are we going to do here? More cabinets or open it up? And it felt kind of tiny in there. So we did open this up. Okay. We'd open this up. So the bathroom, oh no, I'm lied to you. I thought we did. I thought we resurfaced this. So we did replace this. This bathtub, not a great, I can't get to. Here we go. Let me zoom in a little bit. So the bathroom, I wish I could zoom in more, but I cannot. It's resurfaced, but it's resurfaced with like a design. It looks like a Alaska white kind of type of granite, and it looks super sharp, man. Like you have to do a double take or a triple take when you see it. I'll show you a couple of examples of it. It did have a bar, a wet bar area, Joe, and it had a place where we could probably kind of sort of maybe do a half bathroom over here, but we would have to steal some from the master closet. Kind of hard to see, but we elected not to do that. Yvonne, do you have a question?
Yeah, in the bathroom, did you replace the mirror or did you frame it?
Those were, this one was framed. Good
That's nice.
question. Yeah. So we just leave the old mirror and just put the trim around it and paint it. Looks nice. But you're talking about $8 in materials, maybe more, you know, maybe a little bit more than that. No more than $15 in materials and paint it. 'Cause that's a big mirror. That's an expensive mirror if you go to replace it. And then you got to demo it, all that kind of stuff. We left the sealant lighting up here. We didn't remove that. That's an Amazon light for like $85, something like that. These are the cheap little disc lights I was telling you guys about earlier. $8 to $10 probably for that size on Amazon. So we put those in the secondary bedroom. So we still do a ceiling fan in the master bedroom, but not always in the secondary bedrooms, depending on the price point of the home. The master bedroom. Okay, the master bathroom. Look at this thing. It was tile everywhere. So this whole wall was tile. Okay, shower, obviously. Though this tile goes around, and the tub surround. So we were operating on a super, I'm gonna show you in a minute, super thin budget. So contemplated, you know, demoing it all, do a new shower surround, to all this kind of stuff, right? And then what does that do to your budget? Like, you want to add value. Okay, more value add, budget goes up. Okay, a lot of times like there's this fine point on doing these thin margin deals of like finding that sweet spot. And I think that we did. I don't know, we could have done some things differently. I don't know. Here's what we did. So we left all of this tile. Yeah, why is it doing that? We left all this tile, obviously, and resurfaced everything. And they put this little, there was even this, we kept this mirror. There was like this janky mirror. We just left it. We left it. And it almost looks like, shit, like this is like a little nice, you know, like I'm at the Ritz, you know. Dang, it's like a little designer feature. You when you go in there, like it almost looks like we intended to do that. And then you see the little accent around. So they had a little pink accent. And we went back with this marble look, not on all the tile, but just on this accent. And it looked all right. For the price point, it looked all right. And this house sold like lightning fast. So that was this was an upstairs area. It had all this stuff, and it was like falling apart. So we took it apart.
Hey, Brant, getting back to the master bath, did they chip out the old tile, the kind of purplish?
No, they just resurfaced it.
Really?
Yeah, they resurfaced it with that design.
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
So everything, they sprayed it white, and then they hit that design with an accent all the way around.
That looks really nice.
It looked sharp.
Yeah.
It looked sharp. I'm not a big fan of resurfacing on this price point. This is $250,000 home.
Wow.
And it sold like in just a few days.
Nice.
Yeah, there's just another shot of the kitchen. That light, I think, was existing. That's the only reason it's still there, is like it was there before. And this is another little tip is, if you are flipping homes, especially on smaller homes, even if they're not smaller, like find out if your photographer has a wide angle lens. Because if you look at this, if this kitchen picture was remodeled, but it still looked that tiny, you're going to have a hard time even getting showings. People are like, oh, this kitchen's tiny. But if you look at this, like, oh, that's a nice size kitchen. No, that's a nice size wide angle lens. But if you don't get the showing, you're never going to get a contract. Yeah. Some people might get there and like, oh, this kitchen's like, it's way smaller than the picture. Well, okay, but at least we had a chance. So that's, to me, absolutely necessary, is that wide angle lens. We got rid of the old fluorescent thing. And there's like this wood trim going around here. We got rid of that. We could have and would have, if I was wanting to be a little more bullish on the price, but I wasn't. I'll talk about that in a minute. where I thought maybe we could sell this home for about $15,000 more, but probably need to gut the bathroom, probably needed to install 42-inch upper cabinets here and just do more stuff. And I wanted to safeguard us because like other deals we've seen in this market, they just don't sell. Case in point, the flip school property. Look at everything we did to that home. And like going back on that one, do you think I would do that deal differently? Absolutely, I would. Like I would. So some of that's like in this market is like you have to be real careful. So here's another shot here. We did install new carpet. There's an opening from the kitchen that wasn't there before. So it was just like a very closed off kitchen. So glad we did that. There's all my pictures. There's all my pictures. Let me find my numbers. So we bought this one. This was a direct marketing lead. Seller came to us from our marketing. And man, not great numbers. You know, we're just kind of taking what the market gives us. But we thought, I'll work from the top down. We thought we could sell it for $265, pushing it a little bit. I wasn't super confident in that price, but whenever we bought it, this was late February, early March. I was like, you know what? If we can be in and out in this thing, we should have been in and out in this thing like in 2 months. It took longer, much longer than it should have. But my thought was like, all right, we can get in this March, April, hit the market, you know, mid-May, late May, hopefully at the worst case. Maybe interest rates have gone down. That's literally what I'm thinking. Like interest rates tick down, we can push 265, maybe 275. Maybe we don't need interest rates to go down. I don't know, but I didn't have a lot of great comps to get this price per square foot. But that's what we bought it at. That's what we rehabbed it at. This was the fee to my acquisition guy. That was my cost of my financing. That was my realtor commission. Yeah, did 3% come back to me? So we'll look at what was the bottom line to to my team. And so it was March, April, May, June, and then we sold it in July. We sold last week. I was on vacation. So it was a 5-month hold that put us right here with that projection. Okay, let's put it right there. So that's when I'm like, all right, this is an okay deal, not a bad deal, but we had to nail the construction and the ARV. And I'll tell you that we did not nail either of those. We did not nail either of those because when it came time to, let me start with the rehab first. We're a little over 40,000. It wasn't way off. It wasn't way off. We kept very disciplined on, like, we didn't have any big change orders, no AC, no like big thing. It was all cosmetic, and we stuck to our guns. Where I was like, I want to do the tub surround, you know, upstairs and downstairs. I want to do that. No, by the way, let me show you something. Feel like Fire Marshal Bill. Let me show you something. I forgot about this. So I know this shower glass doesn't look that bad in person when you saw it, especially at the bottom and the glass. It was really bad. We kept it and they resurfaced it also. Like they cleaned it, polished it, or whatever. So you can look, it's the same exact candle, it's the same exact shower glass. So we were pretty freaking lean. And the crazy part of this too is like we were very lean, cosmetic rehab, no foundation, no roof, no AC, and we didn't even do the flooring downstairs. If you saw that, we kept all that flooring. Exterior was like pressure wash and paint, and we were still at almost $25 a square foot, which when you backtrack into like when I was coming up in this business, $25 a square foot was almost a gut job. It's now we're looking at jobs like, oh, it's $70 a square foot. That's kind of the cost of things. It's insane. But anyways, I digress. So we did go over budget a little bit, but that's not bad. That's That's not bad. Less than 5, 3, 4% there. So that's not bad. But when it came time to price it, I was not feeling bullish. There were some other homes sitting, no strong comps. I'm like, let's just price it to sell. So we sold it, and I was thinking maybe it'd be owner finance, and we sold it at 250. But we sold it like, which tells me what, we sold it a little too quick. It's a little too quick or too low. But it was a cash offer, came in full price. First weekend, I think that we listed it, and they're like, we're not going to do an inspection report. And if we do choose to do one, we're not asking for any repairs, period. Like, we can close like in a week or whatever. And we're like, all right, that's fine. So we closed it, and that's how the deal washed out. About an 18K net at the end of the day. So was it a good deal? No, it was not. I wouldn't even call it a good deal. It was meh. Deal. It didn't even meet our criteria, but it's one of the things where we do deals like this on occasion. And it's not that I'm telling you guys to go run and do a bunch of deals like this, but take your spot. So we're confident. Why? Because we have multiple exit strategies. This is one where absolutely, like, I would have been really fine with just renting this house or selling it with owner finance, either way, but we have multiple exit strategies. So that's the way that the way the cookie kind of crumbled, so to speak.
So there's the truth, my friends. Flipping isn't always glamorous. Like, sometimes you're going to hit a double instead of a home run. $18,000 profit, no inspection. We have multiple exit strategies, low days on the market. That's a win in today's market. So the lesson is, be smart, right? You make your money when you buy. Insulate yourself with multiple exit strategies. Stay disciplined. Know when to take the safe money, take your profits off the table, stick around to the next deal and to the next market. And that's how we win in this business over the long run. I got plenty more where this came from. So be sure you hit like, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video.